On this week's show, we're discussing Xbox's full reveal for this year's Developer Direct, some PlayStation games coming from the world of Xbox confirmed, Machine Games working on a third Wolfenstein game, and much, much more on this week's GamerGuild Podcast. Good game, everyone, and welcome back to the GamerGuild Podcast, your weekly show where we get together and round up all of the week's video game news for your listening or viewing pleasure right here on youtube.com/GamerGuildTV and available up there in the digital clouds on your podcast platform of choice. Just search for the GamerGuild Podcast or GamerGuild TV and you will find us there every Monday 8 a.m. when this show goes live. Your podcast players for the week are myself, Chris, at Arcane Rogue, and joined once again by the man of many pixels, Mr. Richie.
Hello, everyone.
For take two, because we started recording, we weren't recording, and now we're back recording to bring you another great show, because we do have a lot lined up. But before we get into it all, don't forget to like, ring that bell, and subscribe so you're kept in the loop with all the great content we do here, like these very episodes, like our gaming live streams, and our PlayStation Retro Looks Back, where this week, Richie, I drove back into the past to 1997, I want to say, to hunt down the PlayStation 1 Black Label Gran Turismo from Polyphony. Not Polyphony, Polyphony.
Polyphony.
It'll always be polyphony.
Say it properly.
To me. Say it properly. But of course, we do like to start every single show here by talking about what we've been playing in this past week. And I'm going to hazard a guess, because we've already talked about it before recording,
Yeah, we have.
that you've been playing Octopath Traveler 0. How is that? How are you finding that?
Still loving it. I think about 75% way through the story, so I'm getting close to the end game now. But honestly not quite sure how much post game there is. I think there may be a fair bit. But it's all fun, so I'm happy.
All fun and games. What's the platinum run looking like on this bad boy?
I don't think it's anything overly awkward or confusing. I think it is pretty much level up party members. There's like an end game super boss, that kind of thing. Finished story.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think it's nothing like when I haven't dug too deep into like a guide or anything. But when I've looked at the trophy list, it seems manageable.
That's good. And now you're 70-odd% into it. How do you feel like it's tying in with the overall Octopath 1 and 2 world?
Octopath 2 is completely separate to Octopath 1. So it just doesn't tie in at all. I think it doesn't.
Does it feel like a spin-off? I think is what I'm trying to get to.
No, it doesn't. It's set in the same world as Octopath 1, and it does set up a few things that do lead on to the story of Octopath 1. But it's almost like you can play it as a standalone. I don't think there's too much overlap. One thing I have found is the entire cast of Octopath 1 is there as playable characters.
Okay.
Which I think is completely unnecessary. There was already enough playable characters in the game anyway. So it's just more characters to level up and just a bit of felt like more fan servicey.
He's a little bit nostalgia.
It also kind of story breaking for a few of them. Like a few of them, like the first one I encountered, her story was like she wants to go out as a merchant, wants to go out to see the world, get out of a small town. But Octopath 1 set after Octopath 0, so now she's traveling all over the world with my character to then, at the start of Octopath 1, to travel the world for the first time ever again.
All right, yeah.
So it's like kind of like you've shoehorned them in, and I am using them because they are good characters to play with, but didn't need it.
That's always the problem, isn't it, when you do kind of like spin-offs or origins, is like, how do we link it without clashing with the original source material?
Yeah, some of them, I think it's expanded their story prior to when you play them through in Octopath 1, but most of them are just like, it feels like they're just kind of, and now this character's here. You remember this character?
Remember this person you liked last time?
Yeah.
Well. And and you're about 75% in, you would say, through the story.
Yes. So I'm just looking at the trophy list now, other than like story trophies.
Mm-hmm.
I've got to become allies with all travelers, which I haven't done yet, which is worrying.
Yeah.
I need to go to hell,
Well,
which I think is post game. Go to every location in that is in the game, which would probably include going to hell. Obtain music scores, so they're just dotted around collectible kind of things. All legendary treasures, all battle tested gear, so they just all in locked chests and stuff all over the world, and then defeat the super boss.
The super boss.
So I'm actually not that far, really.
Interesting.
I don't think.
Have you got anything on your scope for afterwards?
My immediate thoughts is Control.
Good shout. Good shout.
Because I do want to play it this year, but I feel like I want to play it a few months removed from Requiem. Is it Requiem? Right. No, it's Resident Evil.
Resonant.
What's Resonance?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not like Control back to back, but
too much Control.
Have a gap. But I'll wait and decide, and when I'm like pretty much closing out the game.
Maybe sprinkle some Alan Wake in there.
It's installed.
Oh, it's ready to go. I like it. The PS5 version?
Yeah.
Yeah, good. Similar vibe, I've been playing Indiana Jones still, so just kind of chipping away at that while I recover from my dislocated shoulder. Don't know what the bruising update is on last week.
Oh, that's pretty bad. Yeah.
It's still kind of there. It's so random. It's
all the way around.
Yeah, but it's so weird how it's your shoulder that hurts, but then it kind of just has that ripple on down effect. But yeah, it's been a bit achy this week. I've not really took many painkillers, so thankfully it hasn't prevented me from playing games. I've been chipping away at the old Indiana Jones, and we said on the previous recording, really good to go back to it a year detached, and this time kind of go through it a little bit more methodically, because I'm looking for that platinum trophy, so I'm getting all the collectibles and the trinkets and the artifacts. And just, sinking into the story again, it just really made me appreciate not only the kind of the visuals and how they absolutely mirrored the 80s like kind of aesthetic and cinematography of the Spielberg movies, but just the John Williams soundtrack and Troy Baker's performance as Harrison Ford is just, it's all just so spot on. I'm trying to think when I'm playing back through it and I'm seeing these different characters pop up, and I'm thinking you can see where they've looked at the original trilogy and thought, right, we need to have the university and the college he works at. We need a bit in a mine or a temple. We need a bit that's got like deserty sand stuff. So they've kind of almost took the same thematics from the movies and pieced them together in a different way, where you're getting nostalgia without hitting on your face too much. So I'm kind of seeing these puzzles and these like kind of things that loosely tie into like Christianity, which makes you think of the Holy Grail part from Raiders. There's bits in the mine where it's like, oh, this is Temple of Doom, and it's kind of very clever in the way it does it all. And ultimately, I think it's one of the best games we've got, and I'm thoroughly enjoying it as though I'm watching another Indiana Jones movie.
You know what I liked is the three main open world sections, because these are a few smaller areas.
Yeah,
you had the Vatican, which is quite. Well, it's going through Vatican City. It's a lot of tight corridors as you go.
A bit more linear.
Going through the Vatican, a bit more. Well, it's not even linear. It's just it is an open area, but it's a lot of inside rooms and stuff. Then you got Giza, which is just very open.
Yeah,
because it's a desert. And then you got Sukhothai, where you're largely going around through the swamps on a boat, and it's like all three biomes not only look differently, but the way you approach exploration is quite different.
Yeah. Really, really is. And I'm enjoying the puzzles and stuff, and there may be like an added like real world element where the state of the world right now. Maybe I just enjoy killing and beating up Nazis. It's just I'm getting this like satisfaction if I'm looking at the news right now and the world is such a shit show. It's like, you know what? Let's go back in time, hunt down some old school Nazis and just whip them in the face, shoot them with guns, trap them in mines and stuff. And there's something satisfying about it. But we'll get into the actual news about that, because there is a potential Wolfenstein story coming up later on. But yeah, in terms of Indiana Jones, thoroughly enjoying it. I am on track for the Platinum Trophy. I'm just about wrapped up on the Giza part in Egypt. And it's quite straightforward. That I've had a look at the list, and there doesn't look to be like any awkward ones or things that I need to like go out my way to get. It's basically finish every side story, take a couple of photographs, collect all the trinkets and artifacts, and enjoy it.
It's very approachable, I found, because I don't have the Platinum Trophy, but I have 100% on Xbox.
Yeah.
So if I was playing it on PlayStation, I'd have the Platinum Trophy, basically. And yeah, I found it quite manageable. Nothing overly obtuse or difficult. There's some interesting puzzles you need to solve. Like the gear puzzles are quite fun when you get to them.
Yep, there's plenty to keep me busy, and I've got the Order of the Giants DLC lined up as well, which I'm going to wait till after the post game to get into and finish. So really enjoyed it. But
Indeed,
Richie, that's what we've been playing. Do let us know in the comments down below what you've been playing recently, or if you think Richie should jump into Control next, or maybe there's another absolute gem sitting out there that he should probably check out in the meantime. Similar for me, my intention is to probably wrap up on indie, lean into Resident Evil Requiem, because that's probably back end of February, so maybe give myself a little bit of a window of time. And I have moved on to reading Jurassic Park: The Lost World novel as well. So I finished up on.
I thought the first one was The Lost World in the novels.
No, Jurassic Park, and then The Lost World, Jurassic Park.
All right.
Yeah,
is the movie's more closely based off? Is it the movie that's more Jurassic Park 1 film is more based off the Lost World novel or something?
No.
And I thought there was some crossover there.
I think throughout all the movie series, they've kind of took bits from both stories and kind of merged them together. Yeah. The Lost World story so far has a lot of characters who just don't appear in the movie whatsoever. And I think they've kind of loosely tied it into, but I think when they came to shoot the second movie, they went, right, we've got Jeff Goldblum back. No one else really wants to be in it, or we don't feel the need for them. So a lot of the other characters are kind of loosely based on people in the novel. But I'm not far enough into it to know how the big action points or things tick over.
It's probably the classic, okay, we've got 3 characters here, but most only have a small part to play. Let's just amalgamate them into one person so we only have to pay one actor.
Yeah, potentially. But of course, we shall see. The first book, though, thoroughly recommend it if you've not read. Not too big of a read as well, but highly recommend it. Right, Richie, we need to get into the news. So if you could do the honours of introducing us into the
graciously gathered GamerGuild Gazette, aka the news.
The news. And as always, the news is brought to you by our wonderful guild heroes, the fantastic folks who support us that extra little bit further, just like you can, from as little as 99p. You can support the channel, you can get early access to special content like the PlayStation Retro Hunt, any live streams we put up early, stickers and badges next to your name, and much, much more, along with just supporting us throughout 2026 and beyond. Why not? Why not chip in or maybe even upgrade your tier? And if you are one of the dirty freeloaders out there, fear not, we've still got you covered. I know there's an issue, I think, with last week's episode, or the one over New Year didn't publish quite in time. Don't know why, but apologies I guess in retrospect for that one. But Richie, we've got a great show lined up with plenty to talk about, and as suspected, Xbox have confirmed they are kickstarting the year for the 4th year in a row with a developer direct. Reading from an article over at Pure Xbox, Phil Spencer revealed the new Xbox 25 logo, which is probably going to be seen all year round as they celebrate 2025 and their 25th anniversary. Quoting from Phil Spencer, he says, "Hello everyone, I'm Phil Spencer from Xbox and happy 2026. Almost 25 years ago, on November 15th of 2001, the original Xbox launched. It's been an amazing journey and we want to thank you all for being right here with us. As we celebrate all year long, we're excited to look ahead and kick off our celebrations with Developer Direct, featuring Fable, Forza Horizon, give it its full name, Chris, Forza Horizon 6 from Playground Games, and Game Freak, best known for the Pokemon series, Beast of Reincarnation. We hope you can enjoy going inside the studios and hearing from the game creators themselves." So, Richie, we have a new logo for the year, which I'm sure we're going to see plastered on loads of merchandise and such. And we've also got 3 games to look forward to. 3 games.
That we know of.
That we know of, yeah. I think that's the biggest takeaway. So we've got Fable, Forza Horizon 6, and Beast of Reincarnation. Where do you want to start with your initial thoughts on what we're going to see?
I think we kind of called Fable. That was something that I think last week I was talking about. It really does kind of need to be here at the Direct. It feels like time to hear more about Fable. And it does seem to be a bit of a deep dive because with the Developer Direct, it's the developers themselves kind of host the showcase. So it's not like a Game Awards kind of thing where someone presents it and gives, okay, now we play a trailer. Each game tends to get a chunk of time where the developers talk about the game and show snippets and stuff. So they are quite interesting things to watch.
Yeah, I think if memory serves, they get about probably a 12 to 15 minute ratio. Kind of spread out between the studios to kind of introduce a couple of their main developers, showcase around the studio, and then get into a little bit more about why they're here, what they're about. And then I think we've seen in the past quite decent deep dives, but I think they were presented really, really well. And I do think that comes across as they're not trying to be shoehorned into a wider showcase or trailers and a Jeff Keighley event. It is a case of approach this however you like, but just showcase your game in the best light. Here's your time slot. Bring what you can to the table.
I'd imagine Phil Spencer and the team are looking at what they want to do before they go, yes, that's fine, and give them feedback. So it's not just a free for all, but it's like you've got a 10 to 50, you've got a 10 to 15 minute time slot. Come on, what have you got? Show the people, be passionate about, talk to some of the staff working on it, whatever it is. I think Fable is the one I'm probably most excited to see.
Yeah. I'm curious to just see what it's about, because again, it is a reboot from the original game, so it's kind of not only the visuals are obviously going to look totally different, but how they want to approach it. Because remember, Playground, not the original developers, they were liquidated a few years back. So this is the Forza Horizon studio pivoting from making racing games into making a story-driven action-adventure game, with obviously the classic narrative, the British comedy sprinkled in. I think from this developer showcase, we need to see some gameplay. And do we think a date? Surely has to be a date by now.
If there isn't a date, I feel like it will be, you'll find out more later in the year kind of thing. But I feel like they probably do need to stick a date on it. And I think that date should be 2026. But that's what they tend to do with the dev directs as well, don't they? It tends to be, these are coming out in 2026. So yeah, I think we need a date on it. I'm thinking probably still the second half of the year. But
do you think, because again, it's this thing with them celebrating the 25 years, how much they're going to push into that kind of November window when they officially celebrate, or is Phil Spencer planting the flag in the ground saying we're going to celebrate all year long in January by saying, just because our official date is November 15th, you are going to see a lot throughout the year?
Yeah. Well, he has said that the Xbox 25 logo you'll be seeing a lot over the next 12 months. So I feel like they are probably positioning themselves to celebrate the anniversary of Xbox across the entire year. Yeah. And this is kind of the first foray of that.
Yeah, which I don't mind.
I do think. So Forza is a big IP for Xbox.
Yep.
Fable is a return of a big IP, and a new action adventure game with an RPG stuff going on there. It's going to be interesting to see what they've got there, because this could be, I think Fable could turn into an Xbox temple of the Handle franchise, right?
I mean, it needs to be something, because when we've kind of assessed Xbox over the last couple of years, and for every bit we've enjoyed, we've also looked at them and kind of scrutinised them for not doing that much different. Gears, seemingly, don't really know where that sits at. The Gears of War remastered didn't really blow the doors off. We've got Halo Recampaign, what's it called again? Campaign Evolved, yeah. That's coming presumably this year. And we've said kind of the hit and miss with Infinite and such is they've kind of diluted down, whereas we've got nothing but praise for PlayStation last generation. They launched so many new franchises in Horizon, Ghost of the Ghosts. Now we've got 2 sequels in that one as well. Days Gone, for lack of a better performance. They managed to reboot God of War, but they did everything kind of with their franchises, while as much as we begrudge them leaving behind things like Uncharted, Infamous, Resistance, it's seemingly done them well. So I hope Fable has the kind of the God of War magic behind it, where it's a known quantity, but it's really elevated to something maybe a bit different and truly next gen.
Yeah, well, I feel the original Fable, which I believe is still playable on Xbox.
Oh, it will be, yeah, backwards compatibility through and through.
Probably on it. It's probably on Game Pass without me checking.
Yeah, I would say.
Metacritic scores of 87.
Right.
Well, 85 based on 87 critical reviews. User score 8.3. It's an absolutely rock solid title of its era. But I feel like that it's a 2004 game, so we're 22 years removed from it.
Yeah.
It probably is due for a complete reimagining of what that story is with modern sensibilities. But this is the brilliance of Xbox, although I'm not invested in the ecosystem, is pretty much everything's been backwards compatible design from the original Xbox. So yes, they'll bring out a new Fable, but if you don't like it, the original one's still there and still accessible. So that's something I will always give Xbox credit for.
Yeah, absolutely. And remember, like I said, this is different. So Lionhead, they got closed down in 2016, and there's actually a quote from the documentary, the Power on Xbox story from a few years ago, where Phil Spencer admitted that the handling of purchasing Lionhead was a mistake, and that actually they forced them to work on Kinect games back in the day. And instead, and then in hindsight, he said, like, you acquire a studio for what they're great at. Your job is to help accelerate what they do, not accelerate them with what you do. And I think that's kind of was a big learning curve for when they've acquired all these other studios. So it doesn't have the original people at the helm, but at the same time, it's an English studio as well, Playground and Lionhead. So there might be some crossover of staff who've moved over.
You know what's quite interesting? I'm just reading on Metacritic, the IGN review. So it's a 93 for the original Halo from IGN. It's very difficult to enter this world without thinking about the promises made but not kept. All of the things that once had everyone so desperately hyped for Fable, but if you can go in with an open mind, I think you'll find a game that will become one of your treasured Xbox favorites. So it feels like a game that it's cyberpunky, where it promised the world, but didn't quite deliver. Yet it's still landing on an overall 85 rating. I wonder that now reading that, I'm wondering well, we had some ideas for this game that we weren't able to execute on first time round. Can we do it this time?
Can we do it? Quite possibly, and there is the looming expectation as well as Fable may also be coming to PlayStation 5. I think there's going to be a trend, I would imagine, at the Developer Direct that we might see a sneaky PlayStation logo or two crop up, because with Halo coming later this year as well, I think we can all well and truly admit that PlayStation is very much a home of Xbox as well. Forza Horizon 5 sold phenomenal. It was one of the best-selling games of 2025 on PlayStation. I can see Forza Horizon 6 getting the logo treatment on that one. Reading from a report from Push Square, the new Fable is also understood to be coming to PlayStation 5. This comes from Push Square via VGC, as it is. It's heavily rumoured for a good while now, but Xbox's multi-platform strategy has seen many of its titles come across. Given the ubiquity of PlayStation 5 ports from Xbox, it does seem Fable is fated to make the jump as well. Either way, it will have confirmation when the Developer Direct airs later this month. So,
do you think Fable will be like Indiana Jones, where it's like a year, or Avowed, which is also in the news, like a year exclusive or something?
See, I think the kind of 6 month to 7 month delay was a testing water period of like not trying to scare the Xbox crowd off too much. And then unfortunately for Microsoft, they did that with all the price rises to Game Pass and the price rises to the hardware, and not really putting out anything at the back end of last year. So I actually think staggering them, if they were to look at all of the lay of the land and say, do we actually benefit from delaying Fable? I guess it depends on how much faith they have in it.
I think you do, actually, because you almost get the news articles twice. So if Fable comes out Developer Direct in like the 22nd of January, and let's say it's launching in April. So on the new run up to April, the gaming news cycle is going to be Fable, 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 Fable. And then they're going to get a big boost of sales from Xbox. People are probably going to be resubbing the Game Pass to buy it. And then later in the year, they'll go, right, it's come, maybe say Game Awards and go, it's coming to PlayStation next year. And then they sneak it out in April again. Then suddenly you get that next wave of marketing. It's like of people like us reporting, Fable's coming to PlayStation, can't wait to play it on PlayStation. Like you've just talked about Indiana Jones in this episode.
Yeah.
So if they can be brave and not look at the biggest spike they'd get from launching it on PlayStation day and date.
Yeah.
If they can hold the nerve and go, you know what, that spike might be lower next year, but will still be there. But it depends what the gaming landscape's looking like as well, with Grand Theft Auto later in the year.
And the key caveat of all is it has to be good. If Fable comes out and it isn't as good as everyone's hoping, having a release on another platform, having another news cycle isn't that great if your game was average to begin with. So,
But you need to back yourself, and if it's not
yeah,
good
very
enough,
true.
then why are you making it?
Other questions need to be asked, absolutely. I tell you
Yeah.
what will be absolutely great though, Richie, and that is Forza Horizon 6. I'm pretty much sure the last 5 entries are all 85 plus on Metacritic. I don't think
rock
there's been a
solid.
bad Forza Horizon game. So much so where they're pretty much ditching the mainline simulation series and just committing to Horizon, it would seem, based on a few insider conversations between 10 Studios and Playground Games. We have only seen a tease so far. We know it's going to the beautifully stunning country of Japan. So, do you think this one gets a PlayStation 5 day and date? After the huge success of 5, because this is kind of a different beast, isn't it?
I'm looking at the wiki page for it, and it's okay. So the wiki page under development is saying it's confirmed to be launched on Windows and Xbox Series XS in 2026 with a PlayStation 5 version releasing
Later
afterwards. Who's that? That's from report by Eurogamer and IGN.
Right.
So yes, it's coming, but not immediately.
Right, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
And I guess they've already got the known quantity there of when it released, when 5 released many years later on PlayStation. That's all gangbusters. And you know PlayStation tend to take a long time to get out Gran Turismo. You tend to get like 1, maybe 2 per generation. Even Gran Turismo 7, I feel like, is still plentiful. Not that they're the same game, but brand awareness.
I think EA's exclusivity is probably what you need. They might not have even made a decision. It might be looking at the playing numbers, at what point does it plateau or start trailing off, or sales numbers and all that kind of stuff. Wait to get that data before you make a decision when it's come to PlayStation.
Yeah. I'll tell you what will be an interesting analysis, actually. When Forza Horizon 6 comes out on Xbox, how many people on PlayStation go and pick up 5 again? Because they'll go to look in the market and go, well, 6 isn't available yet. 5 is heavily discounted. Yeah, exactly. And it's that clever, kind of the meta marketing that goes on with it. It's a known quantity. It's going to look stunningly beautiful. The gameplay is going to be some wild arcade fun, and it's going to sell really well. So it's arguably one of Xbox's, if not Xbox's, biggest guaranteed hit.
It's oddly enough, it's kind of boring to talk about because it almost feels an absolute shoe-in to be an amazing racing game.
Absolutely, and it'll probably be up there with a lot of game nominations at the end of the year for best visuals, best sound design.
Oh, 100% best sport game, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, maybe not story driven, but you never know.
Best action game.
Best action. And then the third game is Beast of Reincarnation, which I can't even remember really off the top of my head what this one looked like. I know we were shocked that it was Game Freak, and we were absolutely blown away by Game Freak, why can you not put this energy into your Pokemon visuals? Why do we always have to have that cartoony art style when you can make something like this?
Because Pokemon is Pokemon. It's aimed at children and the limitations of the Switch.
Exactly.
But I know what you mean.
Game Freak, they have made other games in the past, but stretching it out, we've got Beast of Reincarnation, which it strikes me something like a Souls-like game, which is where I think my interest kind of dies off a little bit.
Yeah, same. I think it looks absolutely stunning, but when you look at the Steam tags, Souls-like is very much up there.
Ugh.
So it's which it's a shame because as someone who hates the genre, respects it but doesn't like to engage in it, it puts me off playing games like this.
Yeah, I'm getting Kena Bridge of Spirits vibes, which I guess was like a Souls-like light. In a way, but I do really wish all these developers would just realize that if they just release a difficulty mode at the start, how nice is it when you start a game and it goes, do you want to just enjoy story? If you just want it for the story and a bit of action,
just try and move yourself away from that tag. Just get yourself away from it, even if it is kind of in that kind of vein. Because as someone who I'm not a fan of parrying in games, I'm not very good at it. I don't like banging my head against the wall to defeat massive bosses. If you can make a game difficult without getting that tag and just, I don't know, it feels very formulaic. And just as someone who's not interested in the genre, it feels like in another world, these would be games I'm very much interested in. That's where my frustration comes in.
Yeah, absolutely. But it looks great. I'm interested to see more. I think the developer direct will probably do it a lot of good graces by just getting it out there to see is it truly just a Souls-like, or has it got a few more layers that's going to distinguish it and make it stand out? Cool name as well, Beast of Reincarnation. And that's all we know so far confirmed. However, it wouldn't be a developer direct without some kind of secret, sneaky reveal, and or maybe even a stealth drop. Because if you recall, several years ago, this is the fourth one, the first one they did, they not only announced the fantastic Hi-Fi Rush there and then at the event, they also stealth dropped it, available now on Game Pass as well. And it turned out to be a fantastic game from Tango Gameworks. Nobody saw it coming because they made Ghostwire Tokyo first person in the Bethesda engine. It wasn't really kind of their vibe. And out of nowhere, we got this colourful third person rhythmic beat action game that told a great story with Chai and a group of lovable characters. Not too dissimilar to the character roster in Dispatch, if I'm kind of putting them visually together. Recently, actually this week, I don't know if you saw it, Hi-Fi Rush confirmed that Limited Run Games are going to do a physical release
of it,
awesome. which is awesome. I've got my eyes on it. I think that the orders actually go up this week on the 16th for about £40 maybe, but I think they ship from the US. I'm not sure what other time implications and delivery implications there are. But Hi-Fi Rush, stealth announced, stealth drop. Second year, we got Visions of Mana, which again wasn't stealth drop, but it was stealth revealed. They did that thing where they show you the...
Wasn't it spoiled before?
It was, yeah, just before, yeah. But they do that thing where they show you the 4 pillars and they go like, he's the developer, and they kind of like... remember, every developer has like beautiful art style, doesn't it? Like it vibes and transitions between clips like so smoothly. And then you show you the 4 blocks, then it always makes that little bit of extra space, and then another one fades in. And then last year we got Ninja Gaiden. I think it was Ninja Gaiden Black, was it? Which was the remake announced. That stealth dropped, and then that was ahead of Ninja Gaiden 4 coming out back end of last year. So it was like a nice setup tease. So they have a history for it. If I was to throw it over to you and say if there is a secret 4th game that's going to appear at the end of the month, 25th anniversary, some big franchises in the pipeline, what kind of stealth announcement would you be looking for? Would you maybe expect?
I feel like they don't want to step on the toes too much of Fable and Forza, but with it being the 25th anniversary, they still want to go big.
Yeah.
So I'm actually thinking either remake or remaster, probably the remaster, and I'm thinking Fallout.
That's where my brain went to. I think they've probably done some good graft away, but if you think of how
there's been rumours for years,
Oblivion was received as well.
Yeah, there's been rumours for years for either Fallout 3 or New Vegas. And I feel like a Fallout 3 remaster, similar to the Oblivion remaster, wouldn't step the toes too much on Fable, but would be also a nice welcome addition. And that could be a fairly semi-stealth drop as well, where Oblivion was announced, then what was out like a month later.
Yeah, absolute stealth drop. And judging by the cadence, January 22nd, Richie... Will the TV show be wrapping up at season 2 by about then? We're 3 episodes in, as
Maybe.
It stands now.
Oh, I never even thought that because I haven't started watching season 2 yet.
Yeah, I'm up to
that would be
3 episodes in. So if it's like an 8-episode season,
while the interest is high from the TV show and how well that's doing, get the announcement out of the game.
Yeah,
to ride that wave.
And then basically everyone wraps up with watching the show, presumably at the end of January, start of February. Hey, guess what's just been announced? And do maybe cut together
Fallout
a trailer.
Shelter 2.
I mean, you never know. But cut together maybe a trailer that shows off loads of locations from the show, like a cleverly bit of meta synergy there.
That would be brilliant because I haven't seen it, but I know it's kind of set Vegas-y, isn't it? Season 2. So making New Vegas... that would be awesome.
Yeah, I could see that one. Definitely happening.
Pre-order and you get the characters from the game, playable, that kind of stuff.
Well, we did have the Fallout 4. Was it the anniversary edition or the Game of the Year complete It's like the 4th time they've re-released it now.
Fallout 4 sales went through the roof when the season 1 came out, didn't it?
Yeah. I mean, in November, didn't we have an actual proper release of a Fallout... Was it anniversary edition or was it just it had all the DLC, it got a disc release, and then it got mocked at the time for saying it was still quite buggy and broken, and it was priced really high, if I recall, because people were kicking off saying like, you've re-released this twice already, Yeah, Fallout Anniversary Edition came out in November 2025 last year, with all the 6 official expansions and all the Creator Club stuff as well. So, plenty to do. One of the ones that I suspect we might see, and I've seen it touted on a couple of other podcasts going around, is that with it being their anniversary, and we know probably Gears is a given. I think they'll save that for their summer showcase. We do have Halo Campaign Evolved already confirmed. I could see them maybe doubling down on their anniversary and saying, like, Halo is our biggest prize. We showed you a little in-engine snippet of what it's going to look like, but it did come under some criticism, if you remember, just being the campaign. Do we maybe see them officially announce that the remaster remake will also have multiplayer?
Halo multiplayer re-evolved kind of thing.
But will
as a separate title?
Yeah.
Which starts incorporating the multiplayer maps from all the Halo games.
Yeah. So you've got your campaign, but if you just want to play multiplayer, it's its own standalone thing.
Yeah.
Which I think would be a good move, because then, unlike previous entries where every iteration you have to drop it, and that's kind of the issue that Call of Duty had every year, didn't it? And then Warzone kind of stepped in, and I think Halo multiplayer as just a free-to-play platform would probably be the best thing for the game going forward. Then you can add in all the old maps, you can add in new maps, you can add in new characters and game modes and stuff, but you don't have to keep trying to iterate every couple of years, hit the reset button and go, right, everything you liked about Infinite, everything you liked about Halo 5, forget that. It's a fresh slate, and it's similar in a Call of Duty world, but Call of Duty is Call of Duty. It's a different beast entirely.
And decoupling it from like a mainline single-player title or co-op title gives you the opportunity to keep adding to the game and keep the lovers of the Halo multiplayer, keeping that live.
Yeah.
Where I feel like as you get further away from Infinite, the game dies off because it's such a long time to get to the next mainline entry. But if you're constantly adding, it's all your typical games of service stuff, season passes and stuff.
Yeah.
Hey, we're going to drop some more maps next year. All that kind of stuff. Reworking stuff in that could work as well.
Yeah, I agree. And it would also give them an opportunity where if the campaign Evolved is received well, the campaign for Halo 2 could again just be an add-on. They wouldn't have to do a whole new multiplayer for the second game. It could just be like a purchasable campaign mode that you add on to the free-to-play mode.
But truthfully, I would save that for a Halo Direct. Let's just go big with Halo Direct. We're going to talk about Halo Campaign Evolved. We're going to talk about the future of Halo multiplayer, and we're going to talk about the next mainline entry in the Halo series. Bang, bang, bang. He's the beloved game, remade in all its glory.
Yeah.
He's how you're going to experience multiplayer going forward in the best way we can possibly conceive. And here is the next mainline game. That would be an awesome triple whammy to announce this year. All the games wouldn't have to be this year. Maybe Campaign Evolved is, maybe the multiplayer is, but the next mainline Halo got to whet people's appetite to go. Yeah, about time we talk about that.
Triple whammy. Yeah. Any chance we see Gears? Like are we feasibly going to get a 2026? A 25th anniversary where we get a Halo, a Forza, a Gears, and a Fable, all in 1 year. Like every big pillar of Xbox bang on their anniversary year.
You know what?
It could happen.
Gears E-Day is slated for 2026. I'm wondering if these games for this Direct are first half of the year, and they're going to do another one for the second half, which might be where your Halo and your Gears start coming into play. Because if these are like kind of tentpole titles for the year, they're taking up quite a lot of space already in the air. Hit Fable, Forza, Beast Reincarnation, and then the fourth game.
Yeah.
Which is assuming it is a secret game that they haven't announced yet. It's not going to be Gears either. Yeah.
Yeah. Very true. Very true. So yeah, it could be. It's arguably going to be another massive year for Xbox. Obviously, the ongoing conversation is also that they've got new hardware potentially launching this year as well to celebrate it. So I don't think they would showcase the new Xbox console at this event. They would absolutely save that for later in the year, I feel. Yeah. But I guess to tie into a later article we do have lined up, which is in the UK specifically, Xbox have had its worst year on record for console sales. The business reports that console sales were down 39% in the UK, making it comfortably the worst year on record. By contrast, the Sony's PlayStation 5 system had a 12% growth in the same period last year. So that's a massive variance difference between the two of them. Which then, I guess, in my mind, and I'm probably sure yours and a lot of our audiences, is they are very much a publisher now that just happens to do hardware more than anything.
Kind of my take. I take these numbers with a bit of a pinch of salt because depending how you calculate them, you can show different stuff. And Xbox having lower sales than PlayStation anyway does mean that drop in sales are exaggerated when you express them as a percentage of their overall sales.
Yeah.
Just how maths works. But I think I was thinking about this before we started recording, where if you bought a PlayStation early in the generation and now you're like in the mid to late part of the generation and you're thinking about buying a second platform, there's not that much driving you probably towards Xbox when all the major titles are coming over to PlayStation. You might have to wait a bit, but they are coming. And if you really cared about Xbox games day and date, you probably would have went Xbox rather than PlayStation. So early in the generation, if you bought Xbox, you're still probably likely to buy PlayStation.
Yeah, you just get the best of both worlds, right?
So I think, there's less, because Xbox has made the decision to put their games on PlayStation, there's less driving people to buy an Xbox as a secondary console.
Yeah.
Like, look at me personally. I bought Oblivion on PlayStation rather than playing it for free as part of my Game Pass subscription on Xbox. So if I was to buy an Xbox now, I wouldn't. I just wouldn't buy one right now.
Yeah.
I'm contemplating a Switch too, because there's exclusive titles that can only be played there. I'd be contemplating a PS5 if I only had an Xbox. But I'm not interested in upgrading my Xbox. And I'm not really that interested in the sequel to my Xbox at the moment either.
No,
because I know all the games come to PlayStation.
Yeah, and I'm the same, and we're both fortunate because that's where we kind of sat originally. But this last year they got Gears of War Remastered. I bought outright on disc. I've got that one. You said you bought Oblivion.
Mm-hmm.
And this coming year I'll be buying South of Midnight on PlayStation 5 because I really enjoyed that.
I'm probably going to wait for Fable to come to PlayStation.
Yeah, Forza Horizon I'll probably pick up at some point. Halo later this year I'll be picking up day one. So it sounds like they're getting money out of me, just not for a console. So I guess from their perspective that's still a good thing. I guess.
I'm more interested in Xbox as a publisher at the moment rather than a platform.
Same. Indiana Jones, I got that for Christmas.
Yeah.
PS5. So I've arguably bought and spent more money on Xbox as a brand in the last year than I ever have. However, I just don't have any interest in another console unless it's that hybrid handheld thing we were talking about that might be rumoured to come later this year. But yeah, it was an interesting little tidbit on sales, but I can't say I'm surprised after everything they've done from a marketing and a pricing thing. But can't say I'm surprised.
The hybrid handheld thing is like, if you know all the games are coming to PlayStation anyway, there's only so many hours in the day. You can, some games we do have to make a decision to not play day and date. Because I have my PlayStation already, I've got my Portal already, it's easy to look at, say, if Fable was coming out next year on PlayStation with this year on Xbox, it's easy for me to make the decision to just wait. Mm-hmm. Even if the hybrid console, which I've been crying out for, was to come. So I don't know, it's just one of them things. I feel like that console that I was wanted from Xbox should have come before the decision to stop making their games exclusive.
Yeah. It's a little too late, isn't it, when it comes down to it? But keeping on the trend of conversations that are going to go along that avenue, we also have a story ahead of the Developer Direct that Avowed, which was the Obsidian Entertainment RPG that came out last February, March time, can't remember, is getting a year anniversary update to celebrate its anniversary launch. Comes with a bunch of other factors, including new companions, various character availability, new weapon types, new races, photo mode, new game plus mode, and more. But not only that, 17th of February this year. It's also, Richie, going to come to the PlayStation 5.
So.
Now, I really enjoyed Avowed from what I played.
Me too.
It just came at that time of year where my brain immediately moved on to the next thing. If I remember, even on Game Pass, I think, did South of Midnight come out almost like 2 weeks after as well? Because I played Avowed.
Yeah.
We did a first look on the channel. I enjoyed it. I was playing it. And then I totally fell off, which, if memory serves, I jumped over to South of Midnight.
I was getting quite into it, but the fact that I felt like it was on Xbox or PC was the thing that meant I fell off. That was what it was. Avowed that made me make the decision to buy Oblivion rather than try to play on Xbox, because it's just not how I don't tend to play that often in my office.
Yeah,
which is where my Xbox is. It's where my PC is. I play most of the time on my portal on the couch next to my girlfriend. That's just how I tend to play games nowadays, and has been for quite a while now, probably about last year or two. So it's not a new development for me. So that's what made me, although I really enjoyed Avowed, that's what it was. I was finding that was a game I'd be playing when she was at work.
Yeah.
But when she wasn't, then I wasn't playing it. And so that could be maybe 4, 5, 6 days where I'd be playing something else, and my interest just shifted. So I'm actually interested in this coming to PlayStation. It's not a day-to-day purchase.
Yeah.
But I would like this game in my library on PlayStation.
Yeah, same when I'm kind of like reflecting, looking back at it. I know we said kind of leading up to it, it was lacking a bit of identity. And then when it came out, we got our hands on it. I was pleasantly surprised. I really enjoyed everything I played of it. I just got moved on to other things. So yeah, I'm with you on the same thing. I don't think I would buy it day one, but if it did come to PlayStation, well, it is coming to PlayStation 5 with all the bells and whistles, and it had like a decent price point, or it was in a sale later on, I think it's one that I would like to get back to. Because I'd always said I was never too big on the first-person RPGs, but thanks to Game Pass and from the opening couple of hours I played, I did genuinely enjoy it. So I think Avowed is one of those where a sequel similar to Outer Worlds 2 could probably really elevate it quite a lot, and I'd like to see Obsidian have another crack at like an Avowed 2.
You know what? The standard edition on Xbox digitally is only 40 quid.
Yeah, I'm expecting about that for the port as well.
Yeah, the premium edition, which gives you skin packs and digital art book and original soundtrack, is 50 quid. So personally, I wouldn't be interested in the premium edition, because it's just, I don't think that extra 10 is worth it. But 40 quid, if I had time to play it, it's good enough. It's not exactly, it's definitely worth the money.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah. Obsidian just smashing it. Still somehow able to get more games out. And then flip-flopping away from Obsidian, we've also got the, I guess, lesser-known Xbox action publish RPG, Towerborne. It's been totally reworked for the PS5 release, also coming this February. So it's been in early access and Steam release since May 2024. Xbox since May last year. It's now heading to PS5 on the 26th of Feb as part of its full 1.0 release. Towerborne has actually been free-to-play title up until now with some cosmetic microtransactions, but it's pivoted out of early access into a full paid product at $24.99. Yeah. And they do talk a little bit on the blog about saying, actually, we've addressed all of the kind of the ins and outs of how the game works, and in case you're wondering, they've kind of folded it into a full experience with story, bosses, reworked difficulty systems, more maps, more encounters, combat, and a bunch more stuff as well, which I guess negates the need for the cosmetics element. But yeah, Towerborne, it's one that's I've heard loads said over the years about it, but it doesn't do anything for me. It's just like a tower defense.
It's not a tower defense.
Not tower defense. What's it called?
It's an action RPG.
I'm sure they said something about that. That just shows you how naive I am to what it's about.
Yeah.
Any impressions on this one?
It looks okay. It's not been very much on my radar, to be perfectly honest. I think the whole early access, get development funded by cosmetic DLC kind of purchases very much puts me like, I will wait till this comes out properly before I give it any real attention.
It reminds me of Castle Crashers now I'm watching it, but with a bit more depth and I guess colour characteristics rather than just coloured cubes. Yeah, I think if it was in free to play, and then it's in early access, and it's getting a port. I don't think there's a massive audience for this one, but again, it just shows you that Xbox are more than happy to publish games on PlayStation. And actually, you know what? I could see this one doing well on Switch. It's got got those visuals that I think appeal to a younger audience.
Although it's a online co-op, so although with the Switch 2, could be a lot better experience than the Switch 1. I've not personally got a Switch 2, so I don't know yet. But
I had a colleague talking to me about this. I think last night maybe. He's recently got his Switch 2, and he was downloading Mario Kart maybe, and he's saying his internet speed was almost like a terabyte down, and it was still saying it was going to take about 50 odd minutes to download the game, and it was like, that's just what it is. Just what it is.
Because it doesn't matter how quick your speeds are coming into your house if the card and it can only do 100 gig. Which is one of the things I found before when I was setting up my mesh network in my own house.
Yeah.
How bad the wireless network card was on my Switch. It was like compared, because when you're running speed, I could see all the speed tests running for everything connected to my Wi-Fi, and the Switch was lagging behind the PS4, and the PS4 wasn't great. It was like, yeah, this is painful. You need to upgrade. That's hardware that needs upgrading.
It's weird how it works, isn't it? Moving away then from Xbox news and developer direct news, we move into a new rumour that the Indiana Jones developers, Machine Games, are apparently ready to knock out more Nazis in a Wolfenstein 3 on multiple platforms, PlayStation 5 included. Previous two games are on PlayStation 5, so it's one of those where even I think if Xbox hadn't...
They've redid the purchase, don't they?
Yeah, but it's one of those where I think it's an existing IP, and Microsoft always said that if it's got an existing audience... It feels like one that would just always naturally have ended up here regardless, but evidently everything's coming over now, so it doesn't really matter. After the success of Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, it looks like they're turning their attention back to Wolfenstein. The devs obviously previously worked on the other two games, but word comes by Windows Central and Kotaku that a third full-length game is currently in the works. The team did lose its way a little bit with the court-focused Wolfenstein Youngblood, which we don't talk about, but it seems to coincide around the time kind of Bethesda was going through the acquisition of Microsoft. They're in a bit of turmoil to get live service games out, something a bit different. So they're going to chalk that one down to a misstep, apparently. But given the nature of the report, there's no solid information other than it's in development. But for me, it would say Indiana Jones came out end of 2024. Maybe see this one in a few years' time. But I guess for me, I would more be like, I'd rather you just did another Indiana Jones game from a selfish standpoint.
I would prefer an Indiana Jones game. I played the first of the remake Wolfenstein stuff, the New Order. I didn't play the new Colossus though. I got the platinum in New Order actually.
Same.
But then I just couldn't get, when New Colossus came in, I just couldn't get into it. I don't know what it was. It's like Doom for me. If I'm in the mood, I fucking love it. But if I'm not in the mood for that game, then it's like, okay, I'm just not in the mood for this. Chris is looking for something. I'm guessing he's looking for New Colossus or New Order.
Similar to you, I got it. Never played it. So I picked it up on PS4 when it was in like a sale or something.
I think I got a digital version that's like PlayStation Plus or something at some point. Or...
Yeah, I think that's how I
definitely don't have it on disc.
I think that's how I don't have the first one, so it must be a case of I played the first one on PS Plus or something similar, and then thought, oh, that was really fun, enjoyed it, got the platinum, thoroughly thought it was fantastic, and then bought the second one, and then something came out distracted me, and I never actually got around to putting it in my PS4, so it's just there. So yeah, I'd enjoy it, and again, Machine Game Works know what they're doing about killing Nazis.
I hope the brave. There's a lot of material happening in the world right now that they can lean into, they can work into the story. I'm hoping they go for it and just go, sod it. We are going to make this a game about killing Nazis.
Wolfenstein, the Third Reich.
Yeah.
Could be the name.
Well, with Wolfenstein, should be something about the Fourth or Fifth Reich by now.
Probably, yeah, it killed them often enough. But really good. Maybe if the studios grew, they could get two of them out, like on the go at the same time, like pre-production switch around.
It might be. This might have already been in pre-production, like kind of figuring out what the story is going to be, that kind of stuff. and now Indiana Jones is complete, then they're going to move this into the main production while a smaller team start writing the next Indiana Jones game.
Why not?
And you just have that kind of alternating cycle.
Yeah, and with the Indiana Jones one, who knows? It might be more down to just licensing and stuff. Like they might just have, it might have been like a 1-game deal, or if you didn't hit a certain threshold, Disney and Lucasfilm are like, no, sorry.
I'd imagine they're quite protective of the IP, so even if they have a multi-game deal, you probably have to get all the scripts and stuff pre-approved.
Yeah, agreed.
So, which is going to be a slower process than an IP that you wholly own.
Yeah, true. But again, did really, really well. I think it was so highly praised, it sold well. I can't see why they wouldn't greenlight it. But moving on to other games that are getting new green lights. Life is Strange is apparently back. Life is Strange Reunion seemingly pairs Max and Chloe once more, coming to PlayStation 5, Xbox, and Switch. The upcoming game is going to be likely received richly by fans of the franchise, as it sees protagonist Max Caulfield reunited with Chloe Price, BFF, an eventual love interest from the original game. The blurb describes...
Spoilers.
Sorry, the game's like 12-year-old. I'm just reading from the blurb. Chloe Price was Max Caulfield's partner in time. Losing her is Max's greatest regret. Now Chloe has come to Caledon University, haunted by nightmares and impossible memories. Chloe needs Max's help, but Max is already in crisis. In 3 days, a deadly inferno will destroy the campus. So obviously we had Life is Strange Double Exposure.
We did.
That came out in 2024. No, that was true. No, that was True Colors.
Oh yeah, Double Exposure is like the most recent one. Isn't
the most recent one by Deck 9. So it sounds like the story is going to be set in the same place as Double Exposure, but somehow they're going to bring somebody back.
Yeah,
I don't know. Life is Strange. This came by the way of ESRB rating, so that's where we get like the little bit of the blurb from. I don't know how I feel about this. I kind of feel like they should maybe move on.
I don't know because I haven't played Double Exposure. So it's hard to know where Max's story ends up in that game. I like the idea of them going back to Max, but there's a Push Square article actually that came out on yesterday as of recording, so Wednesday, the 8th of January. Oh no, that's Wednesday, the 8th of January 2025. Asking why it didn't work out. And I think truthfully it's price. I think the game was priced too high for the style of game. Because that is one of the reasons why I didn't buy it. Because I looked at the price, I think it was like 50, 60 pounds out the gate, and it's like, I'm going to wait for that to drop. And I just haven't got round to it yet.
Yeah, because we enjoyed Life is Strange. We enjoyed True Colors when we played through it on the channel. And I thoroughly enjoyed the characters, the development, the gameplay. Again, very Telltale-esque. It was almost like a spin-off of a Telltale game. And I think similar to you, I think when we saw Double Exposure, really hyped for it, and then when it came to launch, I feel like it came also out at a time when there was loads of stuff coming out, like back end of 2024. And I thought, I'll get round to it when I have a bit of time to sit down and play a slow-paced game. But they've clearly got their engine down. They clearly have the characters. And Deck 9, who took over from Don't Nod, if I'm right, clearly want to stick on to the Life is Strange franchise. Square Enix kept all of the IP when they got rid of Don't Nod. So
yeah, I've been waiting to see this like in a decent PlayStation sale or something for Double Exposure. But the idea of bringing back Chloe, it feels like maybe because the last one is this one of them. Robert Downey Jr. comes back to the MCU kind of vibes.
What you're saying? Chloe's going to be Doctor Doom?
Yeah, because Max didn't work on her own. Let's bring Chloe back.
Maybe.
Like, what do we do with this franchise? We know there's something good here. We just need to find it. But yeah, I think it was overpriced in launch, and that kind of put a lot of people off.
Yeah, I mean, how are they going to bring her back? She has time travel powers, right? So
it depends how what ending you did.
Yeah, true.
Because that's the thing with Life is Strange 1. It had multiple endings, which is kind of one of the things where I think people probably didn't like Double Exposure for. Yeah. Because it probably forces you into one of the endings, but that might not be your experience. And now they're bringing Chloe back. That absolutely, definitely pushes you in a certain direction.
Yeah, certainly does. But yeah, we'll see. We'll probably hear more.
We will.
It's not going to be developer direct, you don't think? Like reveal?
No.
Doesn't seem like it, but I'm just thinking with the timing of the rating and then the announcement of that.
It could be.
I think we'll see it in the summer. Most likely like the Jeff Keighley thing. Moving on, a couple of controller colours. PlayStation blog revealing the Hyperpop collection with 3 new designs for PlayStation 5 accessories launching this March. Today we're sharing the first look at the Hyperpop collection. 3 striking new designs for the DualSense wireless controller and PS5 console covers, with glossy black shifting into vivid neons. Each finish introduces the all-new aesthetic into the gaming setup. We've got Techno Red, Turn Up the Beat, Remix Green, Stand Out, and Stay Locked In with Rhythm Blue. I'm not going to go into the artistic nature of these controllers, but I will say the red one looks pretty damn fine. Thoughts?
I think there's too much red.
Too
I think
much
the red with the gradient, I think it goes too high. I'd almost like the gradient to taper off a little bit lower. Because I'm looking at it and going, I would not have that in my living room. I like it.
Are you talking about the DualSense or the cover?
The cover.
All right, I'm talking about the controller.
My same thoughts. I would use the DualSense. I personally prefer the blue one. But I feel like I personally would have pushed the gradient a bit lower. I don't like the same color sticks and like the body of the controller. I would prefer that to be contrasting. Same with the PlayStation button. Yeah.
So with the announcement of this Hyperpop collection...
But I'm nitpicking. They are cool.
They are cool. The one thing that's pissing a lot of people off, the Pro, PS5 Pro, they don't get these. So you pay for the more expensive device and you don't get the same amount of options. This is limited to the PS5 Slim.
But less people have the PS5 Pro, so it economies the scale. Unfortunately, guys.
True.
It's just the way the world works.
True indeed. Yeah, I do like the red one just as a standalone DualSense. Yeah. I haven't showed you this yet, but I picked another controller up. Of course, I did over Christmas. I got the all white pearlescent one. It is white. It's like a monochromatic one. I got that. I reckon it was when our friend recommended. I think our friend was looking for a controller because did he melt his? Yeah. Did he say
his girlfriend melted them with a curling iron? I don't know how that happened.
I don't know how that even happens. Without starting a house fire.
Truthfully, I think his son likes to absolutely adores Crash Bandicoot, so he's probably been playing Crash while she's been looking after and things got put down, that kind of thing.
Yeah, destroyed it. But I was fortunate enough, a colleague of mine put it onto me, and I managed to get that one for $34.99. Yeah, I think it was, which I was like, almost when I saw it, I thought, I can't not. It's usually $64.99.
I'm still rocking standard white.
Look at that. So you didn't like the two-tone, do you?
I don't like the two-tone on them. I still think it looks terrible. On the console.
Yeah, I think that's why I prefer the solid gradient ones.
I don't mind the gradient ones they do where it goes two-tone because I think it's not. I don't know. It looks nicer, but I'm not in love with these, to be honest. I like them, but I'm not. It's not like, if I was buying a new controller, this is what I'd go for. I think there's still nicer controllers out there. Probably the Astrobot one would be my pick still. Well,
seeing as though we both have the OG PlayStation 5s anyway, we can't get these covers because they're for the Slim. So we're also shafted out of it. But if you don't like those colours, Richie, good news. We've got some new Joy-Cons coming up as well. Nintendo have just announced that they're going to do a purple and I forgot what the other colour is. A purple and a teal?
I don't know what they're calling it. I'm not quite... Light purple and light green. They're the official colour names.
Oh, such a sexy name for that one. Nintendo have revealed for the Switch 2 coming in 12th of February, 2 brand new colours. Part of Nintendo today, they said, still sticking with the black contrast colour scheme. We've got, light green.
I like them.
Yeah, they're like pastel-y colours, aren't they? They're nothing to write home about.
I think they look smarter because I'm not a fan of like garish stuff when it comes to gaming. I think these it's like that little drop of colour. It's nice. To be honest, on the console, they probably could do with a little bit more because it's just like the ring around the control stick. And I would prefer, truthfully, if I could, just to buy 2 of the same colour rather than mismatched. But
I'm with you on that one.
Yeah. But it still doesn't beat my Zelda one.
No, definitely not. But 'tis the season. seemingly, for coloured accessories and a bunch of other things. Right, rounding out the rest of the show with just some quick fire news stories. We've got Ark Raiders may have just surpassed 12 million lifetime sales according to analytic reports. Kicking off 2026, they report that combined between Xbox, PlayStation 5 and PC, that as of the 4th of January, which is the biggest day in terms of sales, with active users roughly about 3.2 million players across all platforms. Daily copies sold started to stabilise in early December, as a well-timed 20% discount across all platforms over the holidays also boosted it. So all things said and done, we're looking at 12 million plus sales, which will have made at least $350 million in revenue. Ark Raiders appears to indeed be maintaining strong momentum since last year, and doesn't have to put the willies of PlayStation with Marathon due to launch later in the summer, I think, as well.
Well, truthfully, I can see why it's selling so well, because one, it's reviewed incredibly well. When games like this, games of service stuff, are reviewed very well, loads of people flock to them. Because while I'm not particularly a fan of games of service, I accept I'm in the minority here. And if you look at Loaded, which formerly called CD Keys, which I still think is a better title for a website, you can pick it up on the Xbox Series X for 25 quid right now.
Ooh,
which is, if you're hearing good things and it's a game that you're interested in, that's easy money to drop.
Yeah. I saw an article this week saying the reason it was priced originally at $39.99 was because of Helldivers. They said they'd looked at that model, and because it doesn't mirror Helldivers one for one, but it does in terms of the PvP co-op nature of playing, and that you're shooting AI enemies and you're dropping in together, and you're extracting.
Price point for the style of game as acceptable to gamers.
Yeah.
Where if you the higher you push that price, the more people who are maybe on the fence about it or waiting to see about, let's see how the reviews go, the more likely people are just to hold back. The lower the price, the more people are willing to go for it. But conversely, if you go too low, people go, it must be just cheap shovelware. It's that kind of nice price point where people go, there's quality there, but it's not, it's accessible.
Yeah. I mean, that's exactly this one of the success stories of Expedition 33, right? We saw the reviews come in and it was priced out 49. I think both of us picked up for maybe 44, 45. Because we bought it on the show, didn't we? We were just reading the reviews thinking this is way too good. We had a look, and I think Amazon had it for quite reasonable. And I was like, you know what? I think I picked up for 42 in the end. Physical copy.
Something like that. I can't remember how much I paid, but
which for the game of the year for nearly every outlet, £42 an absolute bargain. What value for money indeed. So yeah, really pleased.
My household's
to hear
getting 2 playthroughs out of it.
Yeah, that's even better, half price. But in terms of that, though, no, really happy to see Ark Raiders do well. I do think it sets a good precedent for future pricing of games, but it's one that it's still on my pipeline. I know Lee, one of our viewers, Cloud Gaming Dead out there, always saying it's need to get on it, but I feel like I've missed my window now. But you never know. After Indiana Jones, you never know. There's a weird side story to all that as well. I know on last week's show, I shouted out a random Steam sale popping up for Detroit Become Human. That was £3.20 something on Steam. And we had a little chat about that game and Quantic Dream taking so long to get Star Wars Eclipse out. Funny enough, a story over at Insider Gaming popped up this week saying Detroit Become Human just sold 1 million copies in the last fortnight. Out of nowhere, one of the best games of probably 2018, but albeit a long, long time ago. Randomly saw a massive surge on Steam, seeing a year-over-year increase of more than 22% in terms of sales, meaning it's generated a whopping £1.6 billion in dollars off the back of the storefront generation. Detroit Become Human, Richie, I praised it last week when it was just popped up as a random Steam sale, and seemingly, the player count as of January 4th has jumped up 25,000 players.
Entirely because of this podcast.
I mean, I'd like to say it was heavily influenced by that, but
truthfully, it's influenced by the drop from $40 to $4.
Oh, 100%. But could you imagine having a game, as a studio, as Quantic Dream, we said, their income, they don't have any live service games. It's purely just story-driven narrative. And their last game that came out was 2018. So for them to do something as savvy as, just do a random price drop that gets everyone talking about it, streamers playing it, to see that many copies sold over a 2-week period on a game so old, And now they must look at their bank account and go, like, that game must have broke even, paid itself off. It's just one in the tank for anniversary editions or something further down the line. But yeah, to randomly in a January out of nowhere pop up with that many copies sold, I like it. It's nice to see older games get maybe a bit more spotlight on them in a quieter time of the year.
Yeah, I mean, I've just done some very quick maths, assuming like their Steam's taking a 30% cut.
Mm-hmm.
They still made about $2.78 million. If these numbers are correct.
Not bad, right? Heading into the end of a financial
Not-
year.
Not bad in 2 weeks.
And then
For a game that's costing nothing right now. It's done. It's paid for.
And then that's where you wonder the kind of groundswell of it now being in the news cycle. It'll probably sell more copies, even if the price has gone back up, because people are streaming it, people are talking about it, it's in the news, and then you've got people going like, oh, actually, you know what? Even though it's from 2018, it still looks gorgeous. It still looks better than a lot of games that came out last year. So, yeah. Like, if you've not played it...
I've got it in my PlayStation library, so I'm going to hit download.
Do it. Do you know if Nat's played it?
I don't, actually.
I definitely think it's one that she'd enjoy as well. But yeah, Detroit Become Human.
It's a smaller title, isn't it? So it might be a nice palate cleanser between like Octopath and Control, but I'll see.
That's what happens with gaming.
Yeah.
Another one that's seen a really big boom is Avatar Frontiers of Pandora. Sees a boost in players after the Avatar Fire and Ash box office dominance. The DLC in third-person mode came out just before Christmas. But we've seen a massive peak where their original all-time players for 24-hour period was about 10,000 on Steam. Its all-time peak as of a few days ago was up to 15,000 plus. So it's seen a massive increase in that one as well in terms of sales. That is just Steam, so that doesn't factor in everyone playing it on like the likes of like Ubisoft Plus and stuff like that. I went to see the movie. Thought it was okay. It very much felt like the second movie again.
Yeah, it's just more Avatar.
Pretty much more Avatar, yeah. Don't get me wrong, it was still a visually stunning spectacle. But
I'll watch it at some point. We couldn't make it, unfortunately, over Christmas, so...
I mean, to
busy
be fair,
schedules.
It was so long. It's like they actually started it and they didn't have the video feed up in the cinema for the first 5 or so minutes, so we could hear the audio after the trailers played. It was just a black screen, and we could hear like everything going on. It was like, what's happening? And then the lights came back on. Someone came in and said, we're just going to restart it. Start again. So yeah, the movie's 3 hours 15. We lost 15 minutes at the start. So for a movie that I went into at 2 o'clock, I didn't get out till 6.
Oh, that's rough.
So it was like, I was like done by the end of it. But in terms of the game, the Fire and Ash DLC, the third person mode, it's installed on my PS5, and I think if I wrap up on Indiana Jones, it's one of them things where, for all the stories average, I would say at best. Sorry, James Cameron. But the world is beautiful. And Ubisoft are, if anything, Ubisoft are fantastic at making a beautifully realised open world. So this has me intrigued. I'm going to jump back into it once Indiana Jones is done. But yeah, again, just what I like to see is just older games getting praise.
A resurgence.
Yeah, it's just, there's something satisfying about it. And especially the ones that maybe don't get their dues first time round.
I think with a lot of Ubisoft games, people look at it and go, yeah, it looks fine, but it doesn't look like a must play. And then later on, they'll bring out a DLC like this and go, oh, I remember that game. I was kind of interested in that.
It's
and
10
maybe,
pence.
Then you look at the price, and go, you know what? Now's the time. So I think this is just one of them times. Are you playing third person or first person?
Oh, third person every day. Like I did the first look on the channel in first person. It was like, again, I enjoyed it. But ultimately, the one thing that really has got me back in is the potential of playing through it in third person.
That's fair.
Looks good. A couple of quick fire ones. Nintendo expands Switch 2's GameCube library with another game. We've got Fire Emblem Path of Radiance, which was originally teased on the library last year. It's now been added to the update as part of the Fest update of 2026. Originally released on the GameCube in 2005, this one pops over onto the online service. I'm guessing you've never played Fire Emblem Path of Radiance?
No, to be honest, Fire Emblem is more of characters that make the way to Smash Bros. For me.
Yeah, that sounds
like there's a lot of Fire Emblem characters in Smash Bros. So But I'd be inclined to give a Fire Emblem a go if I had a Switch 2 and could play the GameCube games and had time to play them. Because it's a series, it's a long-standing series with a good reputation. So I was like, it could be worth trying.
Yeah, I couldn't hazard a guess. I did an episode of PlayStation Retro Hunt that's in the bag, and I was kind of mulling over during the recording of like how many entries in this said series there are. You must be talking 30 plus at this point. And I was like trying to tally them all up off the top of my head. I was like, it's way too many to even think of. So we shall see. Like the Witcher books, there's lots of those books, and I don't know what order they come out in either, because there's kind of some prequels, some not prequels. Did you know there was a new Witcher book out last year?
I didn't. I haven't actually read any of the books. I don't read.
Oh, you'd really enjoy the books, actually.
I would enjoy them, but I just don't read. I just never have time.
They're really good. I remember when I started reading them, I think when the Witcher Netflix series started, and then I went back and started The Witcher 3 for like the fourth time when it got the PS5 patch, maybe?
Yeah.
Maybe. Really enjoyed that. And then I realised that actually I thought I had the full book collection, but then there was 2 more books that came out before it. So I'm guessing he wrote some and then went back and did prequels. And then randomly heading up to Christmas, I was wandering around. I think I picked up the new Dan Brown book. And just on the shelf next to it was like, top best-selling of this month. And there was just another Witcher book sat there. And I was like, quickly Googled it. Lo and behold, there's a new Witcher book added to the series as well. So Geralt's story continues in the world of novels and literature. However, it doesn't seem like it'll be continuing on Netflix, as they've confirmed the Witcher series, now helmed by Liam Hemsworth instead of Henry Cavill, will be ending at the end of this year. So season 4 will be its last.
It never really recaptured the magic from season 1, did it?
No.
So
it was never going to, yeah.
I think part of the problem was by the time season 2 was coming out, Henry Cavill was already announced that he was leaving the franchise. So kind of, well, okay, he's gone.
They killed it.
Oh yeah, he's doing one more season and then he's gone. So I don't think people just didn't turn up.
Yeah.
No, I know I didn't. And
same.
With season 1 and 2, I made a point of getting a Netflix subscription to watch, and I just never went back.
Same. Me and the wife really enjoyed it. And then when we learned Henry Cavill was gone, it just killed our interest immediately. But yeah, Netflix stated that The Witcher as of 2026 is coming soon section on the website. The synopsis says, the time of the end is nigh. Dark forces are aligned all across the continent with villainous designs on Ciri. Even if Geralt and Yennefer can save their daughter and fulfill their last wish of reuniting as a family, they'll have to face obstacles and enemies, the likes of which have never been faced before. Season 5 was expected to follow Season 4 quickly, with the 2 being filmed back-to-back. However, showrunner said the Witcher team tried to treat this 2 series as one large story. It sort of feels like Season 4 Part 1 and Part 2. That's how I read it. Viewing figures for the Witcher series have fallen sharply since the remarkably strong start in 2019. Even with Henry Cavill, the series was in decline season on season, and the 4th series, which saw Liam Hemsworth replace Cavill, dropped even further. Season 4 had 7.4 million views in its first 4 days, which doesn't seem like terrible. Season 3 had 15.2 and Season 2 had 18.5, whereas Season 1 saw 76 million households tune in for at least 2 minutes, Netflix said at the time. At least 2 minutes. Yeah, it's probably one of them, when we look at our YouTube visions, it's like you've got X amount of views, but the average view time is like 1 minute 46.
But I feel if you're a company like Netflix reporting numbers, you want to go, right, we need at least 20 minutes on an hour episode. At least 10% of the episode people have watched.
Yeah, I agree. So yeah, it's a shame. What could have been? It could have been like the next Game of Thrones, or just kept going and building, but it's a shame the way it all ended and they weren't able to, because of Henry Cavill's passion for it. It's such a shame they couldn't kind of come to some mutual agreement that benefited all parties, where it was like, well, just if he's not keen with the direction, maybe with him being your star man and such a big nerd of it, maybe let him direct, front run, oversee, produce, anything to resolve some of that. It.
But I think there was also some of he got the Warhammer opportunities. So it's like, well, I'd have to abandon The Witcher probably to take that on.
If you remember at the time, he was brought back into DC as Superman, and then he had a cameo in, I want to say, Black Adam at the end, facing off with The Rock. And it was like, everything's going to get hyped. And then James Gunn took over and went, no, that's all scrapped and gone. So he was almost brought back in as Superman, which would have probably been a few movie commitments for another Justice League, cameos, team ups with Batman and stuff, and then it was like, nah, we don't. So I think he got royally fucked over in the last couple of years on many fronts and agreements.
Yeah, well, I think the whole Justice League mustache thing kind of screwed him, but that wasn't entirely not his fault, so it's just kind of shitty for him.
Indeed.
I mean, he's made a lot of money, and he's been Superman, he's been Geralt of Rivia, and now he's helming the Warhammer franchise. He's doing fine.
He's doing fine. And yeah, when he's back with Warhammer, that'll be the next big nerdy thing anyway, hopefully. I've said many times after playing Space Marine 2, I can see Warhammer being like the next big like Game of Thrones, like fantasy high thing to take over.
I think that's what he wants to make it. He wants to like it to bridge into the mainstream, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Into mainstream nerddom.
And then the final quick one is The Last of Us Season 3 is starting to roll over. I've seen reports this week of like Bella Ramsey saying like scripts are done and such. Surprise though, Manny, who if you've only watched the TV show you might not be familiar with, but he's an important character in the game, was played by Danny Ramirez, who is from the Falcon Winter Soldier series. He's Falcon's kind of like right hand man. I forgot what he's called. I don't think is it Red Wing? He's the
Red Wing's his bot.
What's
sidekick? I'm going to call him sidekick.
Yeah.
Very
Torres,
memorable.
Someone Torres? Yeah.
Yeah.
Likeable, but again, the character of Manny is quite important to it, and I thought he was actually a really good casting for him. Seemingly, they're going to replace him. He's got some clashes with his other TV commitments, possibly with the MCU. He is due to appear in Doomsday as well, along with a few upcoming things. So he announced it that as a loyal, upset because of it, but it has to happen. It's one of them things, I think, because even though he's an important character in the game, I think he didn't get that much screen time at all in the show, which makes me think that maybe actually all the time he had like a winter hat on and his mustache. I think if you recast him, you're not really. If you get someone with a mustache and a beanie hat,
it's not going to be. Yeah,
your average.
It's not going to be overly
shocking. No, but it's a shame he didn't get to kind of fully revitalize the character in season 3 and show you kind of what that dynamic's about.
Which is probably when he's going to take more of a bit of a leading role, actually, isn't it?
Which is why it's a bit of a shame, because I thought it was good casting anyway. But Richie, that brings an end to this week's episode, and with every episode we like to end with what we've not what we've been playing. This day in video game history, in fact. We're recording on January the 9th, 2026. Any games stand out for you?
No.
None. Are we still in that shitty quiet time of the year?
Yes, we are. Unless you want to talk about Pocket God from on the iOS from 2009.
I really don't. I'm looking through. God, there's some crap that comes out. 101 Dino Pets 3D on the 3DS.
January the 10th. Nope, not seeing anything there either.
January the 11th has Resident Evil 4 on the GameCube back in 2005.
That's a good get.
And then that's about it. My Sexy Neighbor, January this year.
Last year, 2025.
23 years ago, January 12th, SimCity 4 came out on PC. But yeah, January, quiet time, eh? Quiet time. It's probably why people go back into their Steam libraries and play Detroit Become Human for £3.29. Oh well.
You're probably not wrong there, actually. It's a good time to like put that sale of that on. Just tide you over till February when games start coming back out.
Absolutely. But hopefully,
Kingdom Hearts HD 2.8 Final Chapter Prologue.
2.8.
2.8 Final Chapter Prologue. What in the fuck is that?
That makes no sense. That's a fever dream. But this episode 126, is not a prologue or a sequel. It's simply just the next episode and a long-running episode of the Gamer Guild podcast where we get together to round up all the gaming news for your viewing and listening pleasure. I went Dutch there briefly. Thank you to everyone who's tuned in. Thank you to everyone who watches along on free feeds. Shout out to our Gamer Guild heroes, of course. You can find us here every single Monday, 8 a.m. If you've not checked out the rest of the content, I would highly recommend going to check out the Gran Turismo PlayStation Retro Hunt. We'll have news about the Xbox Direct coming in the next couple of weeks and everything else in between. But until then, my name's been Chris.
And I've been Richie.
We've been GamerGuildTV, bringing you all the gaming news. And remember, folks, play whatever makes you the happiest. We'll see you next week. Goodbye.
Bye.